Alrighty, so I wanted to go over the parent orientation that was on Friday in case anybody missed it. So we will start with welcoming you to third grade. I'm so excited this year. I know we're starting a little different. So today we're going to go over expectations for this year, how we're going to start. So this is our classroom welcome to third grade slideshow. So all of these buttons are linked to the slides. So if you wanted to just choose a button, if you click it, it will take you to what you want instead of having to go through the whole PowerPoint. So we're going to go ahead and start with All About Me just to give myself a little bit of background for you guys. So I've been teaching third grade for 5 years. I have a twin sister and I like to shop and travel and all kinds of fun stuff in my spare time. So let's go over our daily schedule. It's going to look a little bit different than it would if we were in class, but the same expectations are still going to apply. So just like coming to school by 8:15, they're going to be expected to log into Zoom by 8:15 every morning. So I will be taking attendance by 8:30. It will be submitted to the office. So if students aren't on by 8:30, they will contact you to make sure and double check to see why the students aren't on there. We'll do flag salute and morning meeting every morning just to get to know each other with some questions. Then we'll move into integrated technology, which is where I'm going to show them how to access their Chromebook and different tools that they might need. So maybe like splitting the screen, getting onto Google Classroom. So the only thing they need to know by Monday is how to get into the Zoom. So then we will do recess at 9:25 to 9:35. So it'll be a 10-minute recess. This is where I will not be on the screen. So I'll put a timer up and it will remind them how much time they have left until we start again. So this will be my break as well. So this, as well as lunch, will be the one time I won't be available on Zoom, just because that's our break and our lunch as well. Then we'll get into some math, and then some circle time where we go over some social emotional learning, some writing, and then we have lunch. You guys have lunch for an hour and 15 minutes. There will be lunches available for pickup at Harding, similar to how we did at the end of last year for drive-up pickup. That way we allotted enough time in order for you guys to get to school, pick them up, and get home. Then after lunch, we will be doing some small group and independent work, which we will work up to. So in the beginning of the year, so the first few weeks, the Zoom calls will mostly be with me. The small group and independent work, we are going to have to work up to increase that stamina of them being on the computer, where they will be able to eventually get there, but for now, we'll start together. So Harding had times last week for students to pick up their items that they need, instructional materials. If you were not able to get those, that's okay. Just let me know, and that way I can get it to them, because on Monday, it is imperative that they have their Chromebooks, because that's what we're going to use to get on Zoom, which is our main format that we will be using for instruction. So if students don't have a Chromebook, please, please, please let me know, and we can try and accommodate and get them one. They should have been given a journal, a spiral notebook, or we'll call it a journal in class. We will be using paper, especially this first week, with different activities we're going to do for Get to Know You. So if you guys don't have access to paper, please let me know, and I can try and make that available in the office or for pickup time at Harding. The next thing they got were benchmark consumables. So these are 3, they look almost like magazines. So you should have gotten 3. One had science, so animal adaptations. One was about describing characters, and one was about the government. We will be using those as our primary resources for reading instruction. Then you guys got textbooks. You should have gotten a science and social studies textbook. We will be using the science textbook, but most of our science I'm going to try and do online. Then it says headphones, but they're actually earbuds, so they go inside the ears, which is going to be important as well to block off any noises to provide that quiet environment for them. So if they didn't get earbuds or you don't have access to them, again, let me know. We can try and make those readily available. A pencil and an eraser, and the last thing is math workbooks, which is going to be our primary resource as well for math. So if they didn't get any of these items, please let me know. I know at school there are also hotspots that can be picked up, so if you guys weren't able to get those, let me know, because that will help them get onto Zoom with internet connection. So for Zoom learning, we will be doing it 2 ways. So we'll have synchronous and asynchronous, which are big words, but I'm going to break them down. So for synchronous, when I mention that, that's going to be when I'm directly teaching on Zoom. So that's when we're doing a whole class instruction where I'm talking, students are listening, we're interacting together. We're going to mostly be doing synchronous learning, again, as stated earlier, because the students are going to have to build understanding and stamina within our curriculum as well as online. So most of it will be synchronous. And then we'll move into asynchronous eventually. This is where students are able to do small groups or independent work on their own. Either way, whenever we get into asynchronous learning, I will always be available on Zoom. So even if the students are working in small groups, they will be able to jump back on Zoom with any questions they have. So I will always be available. So eventually we'll get here to asynchronous, but we're going to start mostly with synchronous. So students will be on with me all day, starting on Monday from 8 to 2, except during our breaks. And I might also break up the day with different breaks depending on what I gauge from the students as far as their attention span. So as far as expectations on Zoom, again, attendance will be taken by latest 8:30, and you will be contacted if the students aren't logged in. Students should log in directly to Zoom each morning. So our Zoom link will stay the same. You can access it on our Google site, which I'll show you later. You can also access it from Google Classroom. All links will always be there. Students, as far as behavior, will be expected to behave just like they do at school. So I'm not anticipating any behavior issues, but just in case there are, I did want to let you know as far as district policy, if students are disrupting or impeding behavior, I will put them in a waiting room and then contact parents in order to work through that. But I'm not anticipating that. I just wanted to throw that out as a disclaimer. And most of our assignments will be through Google Classroom. So instruction will be through Zoom, but as far as assignments and physically turning something in and submitting work, that will all be through Google Classroom. So throughout each day, we will have 3 assignments. So morning, midday, and at the end of the day, just to make sure students are engaged. And I will have to turn those in too in order to prove that they were here. So if they miss one of those check-ins, it will be as though they weren't there for the day. So we want to make sure those are submitted. Sometimes on Google Classroom, it is a little tricky because the students forget to push the turn in button. So they will have done the work, but forgotten to turn in. So you guys can also log in for your students and make sure just those are submitted. As far as parent support, so these are expectations created from the district. So all my expectations is that the students are able to get onto Zoom, have their headphones and are muted, and that there's a learning space that's conducive to learning wherever. That might be in their room somewhere, but I understand that students and that you will have multiple students in one home. So I'm totally flexible with that, but just getting students their headphones, getting them in a quiet location, that's all really, and having their materials next to them because we will be using materials daily. The other just most important thing is just staying in communication with me because while I am flexible, I just have to know what's going on. So if you contact me and let me know, then I can accommodate whatever you guys need. And my communication will be through Parent Square, which I will let you know later in the slide. So just working together and getting our students what they need will be key. As far as grading, so 3rd grade students will be graded during virtual learning. They'll be A, B, C, and D. So they'll be graded based on the assignments that are submitted and if they're getting onto Zoom daily and participating. That's all I'm really going to look at. Assessments will be very minimal. So if there are some, I will take into account what we've learned and how we're being assessed. So we are changing our grading system from quarter systems, which was 4 report cards a year, to a trimester system, which is now 3. So normally students would get their report cards late in October, but now they're going to get them mid-November. So those will be 3. You guys can also access their report cards, their grades, and attendance through the Aries Parent Portal. And I will get you in touch with someone if you have questions on that, if you've never looked that up before. But I have seen a couple parents looked at it already, which is awesome, so that's great to see. Oh, as far as grading as well, I wanted to mention homework. For homework, I'm not going to be assigning homework just because students are going to be on the computer from 8 to 2 daily, so I don't want to overwhelm them. But if I do assign homework, it will be unfinished work, or if they were absent for the day, they can get that done before the next day. So no homework while we're virtually learning. If you guys need any support or help, I always say the first place to call is the office. So if you call the office, they can get you in touch with whoever you need. And if that would be like Chromebook support, anything dealing with the school, if you have anything about assignments or anything that relates to me, you can contact me. If you have questions about the Chromebooks, you can also try and contact me. I'm not the most techie person, but I am here to help. And if I don't know, I'll connect you with someone who does. Then our FACE liaison. So this is Melissa at our school. She's awesome. She deals with everything with parent engagement. So the Parent Square that I was telling you about, which we'll go over later, if after the steps that I show you later in this presentation, you're still not understanding or it's because I know it's really hard to download a new app because we're used to Dojo. She would be a really great resource. If you need tech support, I always say first call the office, then call the district. So usually if the office doesn't know, they should give you the number for someone at the district that will let you know. And those are my two go-tos. So I would say office and then the district. Technical difficulties will arise. We are anticipating that. We're all going to be on Zoom. Everyone's computers sometimes aren't reliable. And PG&E just sent out information about the possibility of rolling blackouts. So we are aware of that. So I don't want you guys to panic because I'm aware of that as well. Sometimes my computer won't work and we're all just going to have to work together because it's all new for us, but that's okay. We'll work through it. So if you guys do become disconnected, just have the students log back into Zoom, try it a couple times. If that still doesn't work, contact the office and they'll note that down so that the students won't be docked anything and just so that we know. And we're going to work as hard as we can in order for that not to happen, but we do know that working with technology is touchy. So we'll just work through this together and it's all going to be new for us all. So this is our app Parent Square I was telling you about. So this is what it looks like. It's available on Androids and iPhones. It's a free app. It is connected to our Aries parent portal, which is where grades and attendance are. And we set that up from the school with all of your information from the yellow cards and emergency contacts. So you'll already be in the system. You just have to create a username and everything like that. So you'll download the app first and then you register using your email address or cell phone number, but the number should match the number you have on file with the school. If you have updated your number or gotten a new one, please just let the school know. That way it can all connect together and that way it'll direct you directly to my classroom. Then you create your password and then a registration code and you'll see all my posts that I do. If you guys aren't getting posts on Parent Square and you already are logged in, I have made one post. So if you haven't seen that yet, let me know because we need to fix that because I want you guys all to be able to see it. And if you have any questions, Parent Square would be the place to send them to me because they come directly to me. I'm not going to do Dojo. I did set it up earlier, but I am going to disconnect from that just because this is going to be our main source of communication. And the last thing I wanted to go over was our class website. So I created a class website so that we can just stay in touch together. I can create updates and you can see what we're learning in the classroom. It also has links so that you can see that as well. So here is our classroom and it comes up a little weird on my computer, but it'll look normal on yours. And these buttons right here do have links. So if I push on the teacher, it will take you to our slideshow from today. So if you don't have access to it from Google Classroom, it's here too. Then if you click on Google Classroom, it'll take you right to our classes Google Classroom, which all of our assignments. So as you can see, here's the site. Here's our orientation presentation, and here's the Zoom link. I will change this to just Zoom link for students because, again, it's going to be the exact same Zoom link we use for parent orientation that we use on Monday when we start class. And then all of these resources are really great. These are from the district. If you click on the resources tab, it'll take you here. So we mentioned hotspots earlier. Here's how to set it up. If anything happens, how to set up your Chromebook. So these are awesome resources right here that show the students how to use the Chromebook. I recommend maybe playing with this weekend before class on Monday just to give them a little extra practice. Here's how to get into Zoom, Google Classroom, Google Docs, Slides, Drive, a ton of stuff that is awesome for them. So these were awesome resources from the district. Then if you click on YouTube, I wanted to show you we do have a class YouTube channel. So this is where I will also be posting this presentation as well as a video I created for our students so that they could see their classroom. So if you look here, it shows the students our classroom so they can see all around the classroom and kind of see and familiarize themselves so that when they come back, they can see everything that we have in the classroom. So if students want to watch that this weekend, that would be great just so they can see it. If you ever need to contact me, this button here will take you straight to Parent Square and you can sign in, message me. This is our student expectations, which I will be going over with the students on Monday. So this will just be there if they need to see it again. This Zoom link will always take you to our most current Zoom link and will log you right into our classroom. So on Monday, if you want to click from here, it'll take you right to our class. And this is our weekly newsletter. I will be updating this every week. So we have spelling words. If we have spelling words, we don't have any yet. They'll go right here just in case students lose them. Then birthdays, I'm really sad that we can't all be together for birthdays because I love making birthdays a big deal, but I went ahead and posted our birthdays that have happened so far, but every week I will update which birthdays are that week. If you are not comfortable with your student's name being posted up there with their birth date, I didn't put the year, just the day, go ahead, let me know, and I won't put them up because this will be on our class site just so our class knows. Different announcements. So all the announcements that are in here is everything we've gone through in the PowerPoint, and dates to remember, so anything important. So I forgot to change the first day of school because we were going to start on the 17th, but that should be the 24th. That has everything. If you look up here, it has different tabs, and this changes if you're looking for it, if you're looking it up on a phone or a desktop. So because mine's on a desktop, it's up here, but if you're on a phone, it'll have the 3 drop down here. So this is for English language arts. So we will have vocab words, which will always be listed here. I will update this each week. So we'll have our word here and a drawing to help us remember the word. Then we have our spelling words over here and the pattern for that week. And this will be our anchor chart. So anchor charts, the students will be familiar with. So it'll have the skill we're focusing on as well as a description so that in case students need extra help, it will always be here. Then here's writing. It will always have an anchor chart or a graphic organizer, something that they can fill in. And here is math. So again, an anchor chart just to help them remember. And if you click on this base 10s block, it will take you to virtual manipulatives. So manipulatives are things we use in class with our hands, and it creates a better understanding. Instead of looking at like a 2D dimensional figure, it would be 3D that they can hold and move around. And these are great resources for them to use virtually so they can still drag and move them and have that understanding. Toy Theater is a great website as well. It has educational games if students want to do that outside of school just for a little extra practice. So this is an awesome resource. This is from the district, so it would be awesome that they use that. We'll use it a lot in class. And that is it on our website. I wanted just to make sure I will be updating this so that you guys can stay informed. And that is pretty much our PowerPoint. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I will do my best in order to get them answered. And again, just to reiterate, if students want to practice logging into Zoom prior to our presentation, that would be, or I'm sorry, prior to our Monday session of school, that would be great just to have them ready. So on Monday, all students have to do is just log into Zoom, have their headphones, and have their materials next to them, and we're going to have some fun on Monday. I can't wait to meet them. Again, here, if they click this Our Classroom, they can watch our class tour. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to meet you guys soon.